Hi, my name is Jeanette, and I want to thank you for joining me on the channel Jane Reads. So if this is your first time visiting, thank you. And if you're come back again, thank you. I really appreciate you taking the time to watch my videos. So we are on day 9 of Bookmas. So I have envelope number 9 here. If you haven't seen any of my other Bookmas videos, they will be linked in the description bar below. And day 1 talks about the envelopes and kind of what's the plan is, how Bookmas is running. So let's just get right into it. I'm a little nervous about day 9 because I have 3 envelopes that all say day 9, and they all say like, this is 1, and then 9A says, do not open until after you've opened day 9 envelope. And then 9B says, do not open until instructed to. So, what does Christine have planned? Okay, so, day 9. Let's open it. Okay, book previews. Open envelope 9A and read the attached previews of books. And then she's got a little note. I'm not 100% sure, but I think these are all new authors for you. Maybe. So I have to read the preview of books that are in envelope 9A. Then step number 2 is share my thoughts. What are your thoughts on the previews? And which of these books would you choose to read? And then envelope 9B, this will tell me which books they are. Ooh, that means in the previews it doesn't tell me what books they are. Oh boy. Oh boy, this could be interesting. Okay, so how am I supposed to open this? It's like completely taped. Okay, so I have, it looks like 4, I have 4 sheets that look to be chapter 1. I have to read the attached previews of the books. So I will take 1, this is number 1, and I will read this and then I will check back in with my thoughts. And so I have to share what my thoughts are and if I'd be interested in reading further. So I will read chapter 1 of book number 1 and then check back in. So I have finished number 1 now, and I think I know what book this is, but I'm not 100% sure. So basically we meet Molly and her boyfriend Ethan. Molly is a social media influencer and Ethan is her boyfriend and manager. And basically, he's trying to get her more followers, kind of increase her following, and is encouraging her to work for a nonprofit. Basically, like it goes through about, kind of, yeah, I don't know how they got together, not really. Kind of what their relationship's like, and how he's a very work, and she's trying to put work aside and set time for him when they are together because he travels 3 weeks out of the month. So I don't know. I think it's by Nicole Deese. I don't know the name of it, but I can picture the book. It's pink with like makeup palette, like an eyeshadow palettes kind of on the front, but I can't think of the name of it. I've heard Oshina talk about this book, and I know she really enjoys Nicole Deese's writing, so I think that's what it is. But my first reaction at the very end of the chapter, I was like, what a jerk. So Molly she's had chicken marinating all day and has worked on fixing supper for at-home date night. And then he says, what do you think about skipping the chicken dinner tonight and going out to eat instead? She just cooked you supper. Like, hello. Oh. So I don't know. there was a couple parts I had to reread to kind of get in to understand Molly's head or what she was thinking or sharing. I don't know, but I don't know if that's because it's typed out rather than in book format. I'm unsure. And I mean, I could be totally wrong about what book this is. So, okay, so that is book number 1. Now I'm going to read book number 2 and let you know. Okay. Oh my gosh. I definitely had tears in this one. Like, there is an incident that happens. It was like, no, that can't happen. No. Oh my gosh. So, I'm not sure what to think. Because at first I thought we were reliving a dream. And maybe we are. I don't know. So, our main character is Lizzie or Eliza, depending who's talking about her, which name she goes by. She is 9 years old and is living with her father. And she has lost her mother and younger brother. And then we have the characters of Jack and Shane, who are 16 and 14. And the setting is in Belize. And so Lizzie, Eliza, lives in Belize with her dad in what she calls a palace, where there's other girls there, older or younger than her, kind of both, I think, where men come to visit them, but not Eliza. And her dad tells her that he is saving her for the future, whatever that means. And then Shane and Jack are there on vacation with their parents, and they're best friends. They're really close brothers, and they're playing on the beach, tossing a football back and forth, and Eliza was swimming and got caught in the current, and Jack goes out to try to save her, and events happen, and I'm just like, no, this can't happen. And so I don't know if it's gonna be a flashback, like once you get it further in, or if you're gonna follow these characters through their teen years. I don't know. I do feel like I've read this intro before, which makes me think, not the full thing, like a little bit about the palace. Like I didn't know about the drowning incident or anything like that. Which makes me think it is The Distant Shore by Karen Kingsbury, because it's a book that Christine kind of told me, hey, Karen Kingsbury's come out with something a little bit different, you might be interested. So I feel like maybe, I don't know though, but I don't know. I don't like that I was almost in tears just in chapter 1. Chapter 2. Like that early in the book. Oh, I don't know about that. Yeah. So, would I be interested in reading more? Probably. Okay, so I have 2 more to read, but yes, I have 2 more to read. So I am going to read number 3, and then I will check back in. Okay, so I have read number 3 now, and I have no guesses on what this book is. I am stumped. So we start in fall of 1971, and there are 2 separate scenes with 2 completely separate characters. So the first scene is Donna wakes up in bed experiencing really bad pains and calls for her husband Charlie, and he asks her, is it time for the baby? And she's like, yeah, it must be. And she is kind of experiencing the pain, but then she's also reminiscing about her childhood and kind of the family life that she had, and then it ends with her blacking out. Then in the second scene, we have Edna, Is that her name? Yes. Edna, who has got feeling, she just had a bad feeling from the first moment she got up this morning. And her husband is off at the Vietnam War and has 6 months left of his duty before he comes home. And she's trying to keep busy because this bad feeling just won't go away. And so then we're also introduced to how her and her husband got together and what led up to this point in their lives. And then the doorbell rings and she says there was life before the doorbell and there's life after the doorbell. And then the scene ends. Like, so that one, I mean, totally guess what happened. And it was like, oh, I feel for her already. Like, just reading like her one section, I already want to know her story and kind of what goes next. And then with Donna, I also like, does she deliver the baby? Is she okay? Or is she dealing with heartbreak as well? And do these two women meet and kind of help each other? I don't know. But I did find it interesting that Donna's husband, Charlie, had to, where was it? So growing up, his dad forbade him to read. So he'd sneak books into his backpack from the school library and read them under the covers by flashlight late at night. And books opened a whole new world to him. After him and Donna were dating a few months, he shared this private love to her, and his greatest dream is to open a bookstore. Like, that was just, okay, I want to know this guy. Curious kind of what happens. So I'm very curious about this book. And I mean, I quickly kind of wanted to know more about these characters and get to know. So yes, I am definitely interested in finding out what book number 3 is. So now I have the last one to read, number 4, and then I will check back in. Okay, so I just finished book number 4. Well, first chapter of book number 4. And at the bottom it says, FYI, this is not all of the first chapter, but it was a long first chapter, so I stopped here. Okay then. So it is set in 1936 is when it opens. And we have the pastor, Zeke, who is kind of walking the town very early in the morning and praying for the residents of the town. And he comes across a baby who has been abandoned, a newborn baby. So we do get kind of the perspective from the mom who leaves the baby at that moment. She's trying to find shelter for the baby, and then she leaves the scene by hopefully somebody will find the baby and take care of it because I can't. And so Zeke comes across and finds the baby, takes her to the hospital, and then his wife convinces him to, maybe this is a sign you found her, bring her back to our house and we'll raise her. But his wife has health issues already, and he's very concerned about that. Like, caring for a newborn is a lot, and they already have another son, and so then, but you know, you kind of see how they grow closer to this child. Then it switches 4 years later, and it's now in 1941, and kind of now the wife's health is becoming very obvious, but they've become attached to the child, and kind of, he's like, well, I need you. Maybe we're not the right parents for this child. Maybe we need to find a new home for this child. But his wife's like, no, like, God brought her into our lives for a reason. So, I have no idea, again, what book this is, but I am interested. And it's already jumped 4 years in the first chapter, so how long do we follow this family? I am curious. So now I have read, okay, so step 2 was, what are your thoughts on the previous? So I have shared those. And which of these books would you choose to read? right now, I am very much interested in book 3, which was the book 3 and 4 are the two that I'm very much interested in right now. The ones that I have no idea what they are, because I automatically connected with the two characters in book 3, and I'm very curious because I know that Edna has lost her husband in the war and kind of what goes on next. And this one is like, so what happens to this child, and do they keep it? Do they grow? Like, I am curious. So then step 3 is step 3, eh? Step 3 is open envelope 9B. This will let me know what the books are. Okay, 9B. Okay, so here are the books I've been reading. Okay, I already know just from this part that 1 and 2 were totally my guesses. Oh, that's funny. That's awesome. I'm curious. I don't want to... Okay. So, because I don't want to know what books 3 and 4 are yet, so I've done it. So number 1 is All That Really Matters by Nicole Deese. I'll insert a picture here because it's not that great. And then number 2 is A Distant Shore by Karen Kingsbury. So those are the two that I guessed what they are. I could not remember the name of the Nicole Deese book, but that's totally the cover I was thinking of. I said it was pink with makeup. Yeah. Oh, that's funny. Okay, so book number 3 is... Really? Book number 3 is The Bridge by Karen Kingsbury. Wow. Huh. Really? That interests me because I've seen the movie The Bridge. And this did not, like, I did not recognize it. Oh, that's funny. That's funny. Okay, and book number 4 is Bridge to Haven by Francine Rivers. Again, I haven't read that book either, and I wouldn't have guessed. Okay. So it says, don't worry. I know you've probably fallen in love with one or more of these books and have to continue reading. Please text your BFF to let her know which ones you are choosing to continue to read, and a Kindle gift will be on its way. Aww. Merry Christmas again. Wow. I'm like speechless that book number 3 is The Bridge because, yeah. Wow. Wow. And book number 4 is a Francine Rivers book. Wow. Huh. Wow. That's all I have to say is wow. Yeah. See, and the only reason I knew what the first 2 were is for number 2, A Distant Shore by Karen Kingsbury, I had read the chapter 1 before when my friend first told me about this book that I might be interested in it. And yeah. Oh. See, Karen Kingsbury has become kind of a joke between me and my friend. And it is one of her favorite authors. And I'd never read anything by her. And my friend, told me that this movie was coming on and to watch it. So it was The Bridge. So I watched it and then it ended. And it was like, what just happened? And when I was talking about, it turned out it was a 2-part movie. And I'd only seen part 1. And there was no hints given that it was a 2-part movie. And so I was not expecting to only watch half of the book, right? And so then it ended and it was like, what? So now it became, Okay, that is just frustrating me, right? Like, it was like, what happened? I eventually did see part 2 a year later when it finally was released. And it was like, but it just became like, I cannot read a Karen Kingsbury book if they're going to do that and just ruin me for that. So it's just become kind of a running joke between us with Karen Kingsbury books. And also, because I'm a very big series reader, and Karen Kingsbury, her Baxter series is long and just kind of carries off and merges into another series and characters. And it was just like, wow, to catch up now would take forever. And my friend Christine, really loves Karen Kingsbury's writing. And I'm not a very big into emotional type of reads, emotional family drama type. I prefer like the suspense, really. So again, it's just become a joke between us that, yeah, I know Karen Kingsbury's not an author for me. And now, like, she's had me read chapters from both 2 Karen Kingsbury books. Oh, that's so funny. Okay, so out of these 4 books, the ones that now that I know kind of the title and which ones I kind of may want to continue reading, I am definitely interested in The Bridge to Haven because I'm curious kind of what goes on. And I am interested in A Distant Shore by Karen Kingsbury to find out, do we get to know these kids as adults and kind of see like kind of where their life is now and kind of how they're dealing with the past? Does Eliza get out of this really terrible situation that she's in, and can Jack recover from the trauma that happened? The Bridge, I'm unsure about. I am interested in it, but because I had such strong feelings with the movie, and I was really enjoying the movie, really, really enjoying it. It was just, it ended and it was like, what just happened? Like, oh, I hate that. I hate unfinished endings. And I've heard a lot of great things about Nicole Deese's books, but honestly, the first chapter didn't really interest me that much, and I don't know. And I mean, from what I've heard, I'm pretty sure that the girl character, the influencer, I can't think of her, Molly, I think was her name. I'm pretty sure she doesn't stay with the boyfriend, the boyfriend manager. Just from what I've heard, but I don't really know. Which I'd be fine with because, as I said, my first reaction was, what a jerk. So, yeah. So those are kind of a try the chapter sort of thing, and am I interested in? I am interested in majority of these, which just shocks me. So thank you for watching, and were you able to guess what these books were just from what I said? Have you read any of these books? I'd love to know. Let's chat in the comments below. And if you like these videos, I would love if you would like and subscribe to my channel, and then tune in again tomorrow for day 10. Thank you. Bye.